"When you drown, I'll get 10 million, said my brother-in-law, pushing my wheelchair into the lake. He didn't know two things, that I can swim and that the camera recorded everything. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and let us know where you were listening in the comments. The deck chairs needed replacing. I noticed this while Uriah flipped burgers on the grill, asking his third question about my insurance policy in 20 minutes. So, that Northwestern Mutual policy, the big one, you said it was 10 million? My knuckles went white on the wheelchair armrest. Around that. And Agatha's listed as beneficiary? He turned a burger, grease popped and hissed. Her and Lana, split down the middle. Behind him, Lake Tahoe stretched out like hammered silver in the afternoon light. June in Nevada, and the water still looked cold enough to stop your heart. I'd owned this cabin for 30 years, built the deck myself back in '95. The same deck Agatha blamed when she dropped the plate 10 minutes ago. Glass exploding across the wood planks, her face going red as Uriah mentioned beneficiary documents. Just curious from a financial planning perspective. Uriah smiled, flipping another burger. You know how I am, always thinking about family security. 3 years ago, Agatha brought him home for Thanksgiving. Dad, this is Uriah Campbell. He's a financial consultant. Independent, he'd said, specializing in retirement portfolios and estate planning. Smart field, I told him. Nevada's full of retirees with money. He laughed, genuine warmth back then. And full of guys like me trying to help them keep it. I'd liked him, that was the thing. After losing Marcus 5 years back in that highway pileup outside Sacramento, having another man around felt right. Marcus had been 28, one drunk driver, and my only son was gone. When Uriah started showing up for Sunday dinners, fixing the cabin's water heater, helping me research wheelchairs after the accident, I welcomed it. The accident. 3 months ago, a tourist ran a red light downtown. My truck rolled twice. Fractured tibia, compressed vertebrae, 6 weeks of surgery, and physical therapy. Doctors said 2 more weeks in the wheelchair, then I could walk again. Something about full recovery and not rushing it. I'd done motorcycle crashes at 40 miles per hour for Steven Spielberg. I could handle walking to my own bathroom, but I played along. Uriah, can you check the propane? Agatha's voice came out too high. I think we're running low. It's fine, honey. He didn't turn around. Gideon, you updated the beneficiaries recently. I wheeled myself toward the kitchen door. Need another beer? Anyone else? Inside, I grabbed a Coors from the fridge and watched them through the window. Uriah's hand landed on Agatha's shoulder. She flinched. His thumb pressed into her collarbone. Not hard, but insistent. They talked in low voices. She shook her head. He kept talking. My phone buzzed. Lana, texting from Boston. How's the lake? Dad, you behaving in that wheelchair? I typed back. Your sister's husband asks a lot of questions. 3 dots appeared immediately. What kind of questions? The expensive kind? Want me to fly out? Not yet. Probably nothing. That night, I couldn't sleep. The wheelchair sat beside my bed, wheels locked, handles gleaming in moonlight from the window. I stood up, stood, and paced to the glass. The lake stretched out black and still. Across the water, lights from the recreation area glowed faint. I'd installed security cameras there last August, after some kids vandalized the picnic tables. Good high-definition system, motion sensors, the works. 40 years coordinating stunts teaches you about safety systems. My knee ached. The bad one, left side, where the tibial plateau had cracked. But it held my weight fine. Another week, and I ditched the chair completely. 6 a.m. came with knocking. I was back in the wheelchair, making coffee in the kitchen. Uriah stood in the doorway wearing running shoes and a jacket. He held 2 mugs. Beautiful morning. Want to head down to the water? Just us? Agatha still sleeping? Dead to the world. We stayed up late talking finances. He smiled. Stressful stuff. What's stressful? You two doing okay? Let's talk by the lake. Private. He set the mugs on the counter. One had a chipped rim, the handle slightly loose. Old mug, been in the cabin forever. He handed me the good one. I'll push you down. Nice and easy. The gravel path crunched under the wheelchair. Cold morning air bit through my jacket. Mist hung over the lake like breath. Gorgeous morning, Uriah said behind me. The chair hit a rock. My coffee sloshed. Cold, though. June in Tahoe. Always cold before 7. Yeah. Pause. Hey, can we talk seriously? About money? What about it? I'm in a situation. Need 75,000, short-term loan. The wheels rattled over another rock, faster now. Trees thinned out as we approached the shoreline. You still owe me 50 from last year. That was different. I have people breathing down my neck. Serious people. What people? What did you do? Does it matter? You're sitting on 10 million. I need 75,000. The recreation area came into view. Picnic tables. The camera pole rising near the parking lot, 50 yards from the water's edge. No one around this early. Answer's no, same as it was last year, same as it'll be next year. The wheelchair stopped. We were right at the water's edge now. No railing here, just rocky drop-off straight into the lake, 6 feet down to dark water. There won't be a next year. I started to turn. What's that supposed to... You know what's funny? His voice changed, flat. Agatha signed all the beneficiary paperwork 3 months ago. When you drown, I get $10 million. Tragic accident. Elderly man in wheelchair, too close to the water. His hands shoved the chair handles, hard. The wheelchair tipped forward. I went airborne, sky and water spinning, cold air rushing past, then impact. Freezing water closing over my head, shock hitting my chest, sunlight filtering down through dark green depths. My body took over, arms swept out, legs kicked, no panic. Just muscle memory from 40 years of water stunts. I broke the surface 15 feet from shore, clean crawl stroke, arms cutting through cold water, legs driving despite the bad knee. The wheelchair floated behind me, slowly tipping sideways, 20 feet out and drifting. Rocks scraped my hands as I grabbed the outcrop and hauled myself up one-handed. Water streamed off my jacket, my boots squelched. The lake was quiet except for small waves lapping stone. Uriah stood where he'd pushed me, frozen. His face had gone white. I pointed at the camera pole. There's cameras here, you idiot. I installed the system last summer. His eyes followed my gesture. The pole rose near the parking lot, black camera housing visible even from here. His mouth opened and closed. That camera's not... It has audio too. I pulled my phone from the zippered jacket pocket. Waterproof. Old habit from stunt days. The screen lit up. 7 missed calls from Agatha. Multiple texts. Keep talking, everything's recorded. He ran, stumbled on gravel, caught himself, sprinted up the path toward the cabin. His footsteps faded into morning silence. I stood there dripping, phone glowing in my hand. My daughter's name on the screen. Notifications kept coming. Agatha? Where are you? Agatha? Uriah's not in bed. Agatha? Dad, answer me. Agatha? I heard the door slam. What's happening? Agatha? Dad? Agatha? Please be okay. Agatha? He said he was just going to talk to you. The last message arrived 30 seconds ago. He said he was just going to talk to you. I'd done underwater escapes in 3 Spielberg films, and a James Bond knockoff nobody remembers. Lake Tahoe in June was practically a heated pool compared to the North Atlantic in November, but my hands started shaking now, phone trembling in my grip. 40 years of stunt work, car crashes, building falls, fight choreography for actors who couldn't throw a punch. I'd coordinated safety for hundreds of people. Nobody died on my watch. Nobody got hurt badly enough to quit the business. My own son-in-law just tried to kill me for insurance money. The wheelchair had drifted further out. $7,200, insurance covered. Guess I'd be filing another claim. Different department this time. I looked at Agatha's messages again. 7 calls, the frantic texts. She knew something. Maybe not murder, but something. Her nervousness yesterday, dropping that plate when Uriah mentioned beneficiary documents. The way she flinched when he touched her shoulder. 3 months ago, he'd said. She signed paperwork 3 months ago, right after my accident. While I was in the hospital, drugged on pain medication, Uriah was getting my younger daughter to sign forms that made him my beneficiary. When you drown, I get $10 million. My thumb hovered over her name. The call button glowed green. Up the path, I heard a car engine start. Uriah's Range Rover, probably. He'd be running now, trying to figure out his next move. Guy sprinted like his lottery ticket just turned up counterfeit, which technically it had. I was the lottery ticket. The sun climbed over the mountains. Light hit the water, turning it from black to blue. A fish jumped near my floating wheelchair. Ripples spread outward in perfect circles. I pressed call. 3 rings, 4. She picked up on 5. Dad? Her voice was wrecked. Dad, where are you? Lake, I'm fine. Uriah came back. He's throwing things in his car. He won't talk to me. What happened? He pushed me in the water. Silence. Then? What? He rolled me down to the lake, asked for $75,000. I said no. He told me you signed beneficiary paperwork. Then he pushed the wheelchair into the lake. More silence. I could hear her breathing, fast, shallow breaths. Dad, I didn't... He said you wanted to update the policy after the accident. He had all these forms. He said they were standard. Did you read them? Her voice cracked. He's my husband. I trusted him. Did you read them, Agatha? No. Whisper quiet. I didn't read them. A car door slammed in the background. The Range Rover's engine revved. Where's he going? I don't know. He grabbed his laptop and some clothes. He looked terrified. Good. He should be. What are you going to do? The water had soaked through my jacket, my shirt, everything. I was standing on rocks in wet clothes at 7 a.m, talking to my daughter about her husband's murder attempt. The absurdity hit me sideways. I'm going to come back to the cabin, I said. Get dry clothes, then we're going to talk about what you knew and when you knew it. I didn't know he was going to. I would never. We'll talk. I started up the path. My knee complained but held steady. Is he gone? His car just left, headed down the mountain. The gravel crunched under my wet boots. Each step sent water squelching between my toes. Behind me, my wheelchair continued its slow drift toward deeper water. Someone would fish it out eventually. Or it would sink. Either way, I didn't need it anymore. When I get there, I said, you're going to tell me everything. Every conversation, every form he showed you, every time he mentioned my money. Okay. She was crying now. Dad, I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I know. I reached the cabin in 5 minutes. Agatha stood on the deck in her bathrobe, phone to her ear, mascara running down her face. She looked like she'd aged 10 years overnight. When she saw me, soaked, limping slightly but walking, her legs gave out. She sat down hard on the deck chair. You're walking. Doctors cleared me last week. I was being careful. I climbed the steps. Guess I'm done being careful. She stared at me. At my wet clothes, my muddy boots, the phone still in my hand. The wheelchair, in the lake where your husband put it. He tried to kill you. Yeah, for the insurance money. 10 million apparently. He was very specific about the amount. She covered her face with both hands. Her whole body shook. I stood there dripping on the deck I'd built 30 years ago, watching my daughter fall apart, and felt nothing. The cold had gotten into my bones, or maybe it was something else. Get dressed, I said. We have a lot to talk about. I walked through the front door, dripping lake water onto hardwood floors. The puddle spread around my boots. I didn't move. My house, my rules. Agatha stood in the living room, wearing pajamas. Mascara streaked down her face. Dad! Oh my God, you're walking! What happened to... Shut up. Both of you sit down. Uriah was already on the couch, hair still wet, face the color of old newspaper. He'd come in through the back door. His BMW sat in the driveway with the passenger mirror clipped against a tree branch. Running does that. Makes you careless. Dad, your tone... Sit! Down! They sat. Agatha perched on the chair arm. Uriah sank into cushions like they might hide him. I stayed in the doorway, water pooling beneath me. The clock on the mantel read 7:47. We can call police right now. Attempted murder. Or we talk and I decide later. You have 5 seconds. Uriah opened his mouth. I held up one finger. He closed it. It was a joke. His voice came out thin. Dark humor. I was trying to... You said, when you drown, I get 10 million. Word for word. That's not humor. You're misremembering. The chair just rolled. You pushed. I went airborne before I hit water. Agatha looked at him. Uriah? Tell him it was an accident. Silence. Just the coffee maker gurgling its last drops. 6 a.m. automatic brew. Uriah had programmed it yesterday for our morning walk. Nothing says premeditated murder like timed caffeine. Uriah. His phone buzzed on the coffee table. The screen lit up. Payment overdue. Then again, final notice. A third time, we know where you live. I walked to the kitchen, poured coffee, added cream slowly, let the silence work. So, gambling, how long? Agatha's hands fluttered between us. What are you talking about? $340,000, gambling debts, half to casinos, half to loan sharks. Uriah jerked upright. How did you? Doesn't matter how. Matter is you tried killing me for life insurance. Dad, that's not, we wouldn't. You signed beneficiary paperwork 3 months ago. Northwestern Mutual, $10 million payout. She turned to Uriah like he'd grown a second head. You said it was routine, estate planning. It was, I didn't. Don't lie to me right now. 3 days ago, Tuesday afternoon, my neighbor Clem knocked on my door. Clement Wade, retired detective, 72 years old, and still built like he could tackle someone half his age. He'd brought a folder. Called in a favor from Reno PD, he said, settling into a deck chair, while I pretended the wheelchair was necessary. Your son-in-law's interesting. 3 casinos flagged him for card counting, which means he's either brilliant or stupid, and his debt says stupid. The folder contained everything. Credit reports showing the spiral, casino markers from Atlantis, Peppermill, Circus. Then the real ugly stuff, loans from people who didn't report to credit bureaus, 20% weekly interest. The kind of interest that comes with broken thumbs if you miss payments. Why'd you look into him? I'd asked. Clem shrugged. He asked too many questions about your money at the barbecue last month. Made my cop sense itch. Back in my living room, present tense, Uriah's phone kept buzzing. He grabbed it. Too late. I'd seen enough. Talk, now. All of it. His shoulders collapsed inward. Started 2 years ago. Poker, then roulette. I could beat it. I knew I could. You couldn't. Lost big at Atlantis Casino, then Peppermill. They cut me off, so I found other lenders. Loan sharks. Private financiers. He said it like he was on Wall Street. These guys broke thumbs, not quarterly earnings reports. I'd met real private financiers during contract negotiations in the 90s. They wore Armani, not leather jackets that smelled like cigarettes and regret. 20% weekly interest. I missed 3 payments. They sent photos of Agatha leaving yoga class. Agatha gasped. They what? Photos, grocery store, yoga studio, coming out of your dentist appointment. His voice cracked. I tried borrowing from my parents. They disowned me 10 years ago when Dad's business went under. Blame me for lifestyle choices. I tried bankruptcy. Gambling debts aren't dischargeable. He looked at her. I didn't want this. I wanted to be good enough for you. For maybe 2 seconds he looked human, desperate and broken and scared. Then, but you have 10 million. You were already half dead in that chair. The humanity evaporated. Agatha pulled a throw pillow to her chest, rocking slightly. 340,000? I set my coffee cup down. My hands were steady, but my voice wasn't. Here's what happens. You have 24 hours. Pack your things. Divorce papers filed within the week. Dad, no. I'm not calling cops. For you, Agatha. Not him, but you're done. Uriah's eyes narrowed, calculating already. That's it? You're just letting us... Alternative is police report, prison, trial, your choice. 24 hours. 23 now. Clock started when I walked in dripping. I went to my bedroom, stripped off wet clothes. Through the door I heard Agatha crying, Uriah on the phone, speaking quietly. Couldn't make out words. I sat on the bed edge, head in hands. My shoulders shook once, not crying, just releasing something that had been locked up since the water closed over my head. I whispered to the empty room, she's still my daughter. I'd survived 20-foot falls into cardboard boxes, survived a helicopter crash in Mexico, survived SAG union negotiations in the 90s. I could survive explaining to my daughter why I let her husband try drowning me. That night, I barely slept. Morning came with bright sun and bird sounds. I stood at the kitchen window at 8 a.m., coffee cup halfway to my lips, black Mercedes in the driveway, Nevada plates, professional vehicle. Through the window, a man in a gray suit, expensive cut, shark-like posture. He sat across from Agatha at the coffee table, Uriah beside him, lawyer's briefcase visible, resting on the same table where Uriah's phone had buzzed with threats 12 hours ago. They weren't packing, they were strategizing. I set the cup down, cold coffee. I'd been standing here 30 minutes without noticing. I'm an idiot. I slammed my palm against the window frame. Okay then, I said to the empty kitchen. We do this the hard way. The doorbell rang at 8:15. I opened it slowly. The man in the gray suit smiled, professional predator smile. Mr. Larson, Marcus Ellington, representing Mr. and Mrs. Campbell. I didn't invite you in. He stepped inside anyway, briefcase swinging. This won't take long. May we sit? You can stand. He sat on my couch. Agatha and Uriah flanked him like backup singers. Agatha wouldn't meet my eyes, examining her fingernails instead. Uriah's arm draped around her shoulders, possessive, not comforting. I understand there was an unfortunate incident yesterday morning. Unfortunate. That's one word for attempted murder. That's a serious accusation. Do you have evidence supporting it? Security camera recorded everything. Ellington opened his briefcase. Did it? Mr. Campbell checked your system Monday evening. Routine maintenance. The lakeside camera experienced a technical malfunction. Convenient malfunction. Technology fails. He slid a document across the coffee table. I have the error logs here. I was there. I know what happened. You were recovering from major knee surgery, substantial pain medication, oxycodone prescribed by Dr. Patterson, correct? What is that? Dr. Patterson's notes indicate concerns about your mental state, post-operative distress, paranoid ideation. That's bullshit. I never... He slid more papers, fanned them out like a poker hand showing a full house. Page 3, dated 2 weeks ago. I grabbed the document, Dr. Patterson's letterhead. Notes about pain management, mobility progress. Then, buried in paragraph 4, patient demonstrates anxiety regarding family members, possible paranoid thinking, recommending psychiatric consultation if symptoms persist. I'd never discussed anything like that with Patterson. We talked about my knee, physical therapy schedules, when I could ditch the wheelchair. This is fake. It's a certified medical record from your own physician. Agatha, tell him what Uriah confessed. She twisted her hands together. Dad, maybe you misunderstood. Misunderstood? He talked about his gambling debts, the loan sharks. You were very upset. We all were. Things get confused. Don't do this. Don't lie for him. I'm not lying. Maybe it wasn't what it seemed. Maybe you fell and... He pushed me. Uriah leaned forward. I reached for you. You lost balance. $340,000 in debts. Ellington's smile never wavered. My client's financial situation is private, also unrelated. It's his motive. Motive requires a crime. What crime, mister? Larson? Under the table, Agatha's foot tapped rapid rhythm. Her coffee cup trembled in her hands. She set it down before anyone noticed. When Ellington described elder abuse statutes, her eyes squeezed shut for 2 seconds. She whispered to Uriah, Do we have to do this? He squeezed her shoulder. If you love me. She fell silent. Tears at the corners of her eyes. Ellington kept talking. Here's my concern. You've made serious allegations against my clients, defamatory statements. If this continues, police reports, public accusations, we'll have no choice but to pursue legal remedies. You're threatening me? Protecting my clients. Mrs. Campbell is prepared to testify. You pressured her into signing estate documents while cognitively impaired. Elder abuse laws are quite robust in Nevada. That's insane. Is it? You're nearly 70, recovering from surgery, on heavy medications. A court-ordered psychiatric evaluation might clarify your mental state. Get out of my house. He stood, brushed invisible lint from his suit. Marcus Ellington wore clothes that cost more than my first car, more than my second car, probably more than the Camaro. I crashed through a fruit stand in that '98 action comedy nobody saw. My card. When you're ready to discuss this rationally. They left. Mercedes pulling away smooth and quiet. I walked to Clem's house instead of calling. Needed movement. Gravel crunched too loud under my boots. Morning birds scattered from my approach. Clem opened before I knocked. Saw them leave. That was a lawyer. They lawyered up fast. Inside, his kitchen smelled like coffee and toast. Oak table, vintage coffee maker, desktop computer humming in the corner. He had everything prepared. Medical records, camera logs. This wasn't scrambled together overnight. Clem poured me coffee without asking. Let me check your system. He typed, clicked, frowned. Minutes passed. Well, shit. What? Camera's dead. Has been since Monday night, 8 p.m. File corruption on the server. Could be hardware failure, but he sabotaged it. Can't prove that without the camera itself. He do maintenance recently? Monday afternoon. I'd been on the deck in the wheelchair, watching clouds move across the lake. Uriah appeared with a ladder and cleaning spray. Mind if I clean the camera lenses? Mountain dust accumulates. You're a good son-in-law, taking care of this. He smiled down at me from the ladder. Happy to help, Gideon. Family takes care of each other. I'd watched him wipe each camera housing, thorough, careful, taking his time. Monday, I told Clem. Clean the lenses. There's your sabotage. Professional job too. Corruption looks like technical failure, not obvious damage. I sat at his table, head in hands. The forged doctor's notes said I had paranoid ideation. I'd spent 3 decades working with studio executives. If that didn't make me paranoid, nothing would. I gave them 24 hours yesterday. Thought it was mercy. Instead, I gave them time to execute this. This was ready before you made the offer. I know. He planned counters before trying to kill me. I slammed my fist on the table. Clem's coffee cup jumped. 40 years coordinating safety protocols. I got played by a gambling addict with a law degree on speed dial. My phone buzzed. Lana calling. I sent it to voicemail, texted instead. Can't talk now. We'll call tonight. She responded immediately. What is happening? Trust me, tonight. Clem refilled my coffee. Without camera footage, it's your word against theirs. Lawyers already built the narrative. Confused old man, pain meds, paranoid delusions. I'm not old. You're 68. I can still do a backflip. Can you prove attempted murder? I couldn't. We sat in silence. Outside, a woodpecker hammered at something. Rhythmic, relentless. Main systems completely corrupted? I asked. Yeah, professional sabotage or very unlucky technical failure. Main system. Something clicked in my brain. A memory surfacing. Wait. I stood abruptly, chair scraping. Last summer, the GoPro. I mounted a backup in the... Clem's eyes widened. You have a backup camera? Birdhouse feeder, 30 yards from the lake, wide-angle lens. I used it on the Bourne sequel for backup stunts. You never mentioned it. Old habit. Always have redundant coverage. Directors hate single-point failure. Does Uriah know about it? Nobody knows. I installed it solo. Then let's hope it works. We half-jogged to the property edge. My knee complained but held steady. The birdhouse feeder hung from a pole near the tree line, overlooking the lake, 30 yards south of where Uriah pushed me. I'd been in bar fights with bikers, been on the bad side of producers who thought stunt budgets were suggestions, survived contract negotiations where agents made loan sharks look friendly. That lawyer scared me more than all of them, because he was legal. But maybe I had evidence he couldn't corrupt. My fingers worked the birdhouse latch. Old mechanism, stiff from weather. Clem stood beside me, breathing heavy from the jog. Careful. If that camera shifted, might have wrong angle. It won't have shifted. I mounted it with earthquake brackets. Habit. The front panel swung open. Inside, GoPro, smaller than a deck of cards, duct taped secure. Solar panel wire led to the roof. Power light, green, still functioning. Clem exhaled. Oh, thank God. I didn't move. Couldn't make myself reach for it. What if the angle was wrong? What if the memory card failed? What if 14 months of weather corroded something? My hand hovered in empty air. You want me to... Clem started. No. My fingers closed around the camera, pulled it free. Plastic warm from sun. I turned it over. Memory card slot, occupied. Red indicator light blinked. Recording active. Has been recording. For 14 months. Including yesterday dawn. Clem's laptop took 15 seconds to recognize the memory card. We didn't breathe during those 15 seconds. The file directory appeared. 47 video files dating back 14 months. I scrolled to June 5th yesterday. 47 minutes, 180 megabytes. I clicked. The file loaded, wide angle, full lakeside visible. The timestamp read 6:28 a.m. My wheelchair entered frame from the right, Uriah pushing. Audio clear even at 30 yards. 75,000. My voice. Then his. Private financiers. My finger hovered over pause. I didn't press it. The conversation played out. When you drown, I get $10 million. The shove, wheelchair tipping, me airborne, then impact. Water splash. 20 seconds of empty frame. Then my head surfacing, arms stroking toward shore. Clem's jaw muscle worked. That's attempted murder, clear as day. I reached for my phone, hand on it, then stopped. Set it down deliberately. No. What do you mean no? You have attempted murder on video. And then what? He gets arrested, post bail through that lawyer, trials in 2 years. Agatha testifies he's innocent. I'm confused. Jury might buy it. They won't with this footage. Maybe, maybe not. Lawyers are good. I tapped the table. But you know what's better than one attempted murder charge? Don't say it. 2 attempts, on camera, with warning, premeditation proven. No lawyer slips out of that. Clem leaned back. You're using yourself as bait. I've been hit by cars for movie scenes. I can handle whatever he tries next. That was with safety teams. Now I've got you, close enough. We spent 2 hours copying every file, uploaded everything to 3 different cloud storage accounts. I kept the original memory card in my wallet. Clem kept pausing to analyze angles. Good framing, he said. Steady shot, considering it's a tree-mounted GoPro. I'd worked with Spielberg's director of photography. Even my backup cameras had better composition than most student films. At 2 p.m., I called Uriah, speaker on so Clem heard. Uriah, it's me. I forced defeat into my voice, slight tremor, exhaustion. About this morning, you were right. The camera didn't record anything. Your lawyer made good points. Long pause on his end. You're dropping this? What's there to drop? No evidence, just a misunderstanding between family. What about the police? Haven't called them, won't call them. Let's just enjoy the rest of the week. You want us to stay at the cabin? Paid for the week, shame to waste it. Besides, Agatha loves the lake. Why would you want us here after? Because you're family, and maybe I overreacted. Knee surgery, pain pills, not thinking clearly. Let's start over. I hung up. Clem was shaking his head. He's not buying that. He doesn't have to buy it completely, just enough to think he won, that his lawyer scared me, that I'm giving up. By dinner time, I'd sold the performance, wheeled into the living room where they sat tense on the couch, reached for my coffee cup, winced, dropped it, on purpose. Ceramic hit hardwood, didn't break. Uriah picked it up. Thanks, knees acting up, probably overdid it this morning. Pills on the counter. I shook the bottle loud enough for them to hear. Oxycodone prescribed by Dr. Patterson, who'd actually recommended Tylenol, but they didn't need to know that. I swallowed 2 Tylenol and wobbled to my room. I'd been nominated for a Taurus Award in 2003 for stunt coordination. Didn't win. But this deserved a retroactive trophy. Through the kitchen window that afternoon, I watched Uriah on the deck making a phone call. His posture shifted as he talked. Shoulders relaxed, smile appeared. He turned, saw me watching, waved, friendly, predatory. That evening, the cabin settled into quiet. I lay in bed, lights off, door cracked. Their voices carried through the old walls, not trying to overhear. Impossible not to. My phone was under the pillow, voice recorder app open. I pressed record, Uriah's voice. Tomorrow, boat ride, just the 3 of us. I don't want to talk about this. Agatha? We have to. You heard him at dinner, thinking about updating my will. That's code for cutting you out. Maybe he should. Maybe we deserve it. Keep your voice down. Pause. And no, we don't deserve losing millions because of one mistake. One mistake? You tried to kill him. And I'll try again if that's what it takes. You signed those papers. You're in this. Her sobbing came through clearly. I didn't sign up for murder. You signed up for me, for our life. This is what that costs. Silence for a while. Then Agatha's voice small. Remember when we met? You took me to that restaurant in Reno, told me jokes about bond yields and made them funny. I thought you were the smartest man I'd ever met. Uriah, softer. I was, before I got stupid. When did it start? The gambling? Dad's business collapsed. I had a trust fund that went with it. Tried winning it back. Kept trying. Another pause. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. I dragged myself. I chose you. You still choosing me? I don't have a choice anymore. They threatened me too. showed me pictures of myself leaving Pilates. More silence. Then Uriah again. Strong wind tomorrow, boat turns sharp, he goes over. You scream, I dive in, pretending to save him. Current takes him. Tragic accident. I can't do this again. You want those men showing up at your yoga class, at your father's house? They will. But changing the will. So we do it before he can. My thumb stayed on the screen. 32 minutes recorded. I saved the file, named it Premeditation June 6 NM4A, uploaded to cloud storage. Set 3 alarms, 6:00 a.m., 6:15 a.m., 6:30 a.m. Needed to wake before them. Be in the wheelchair before they saw me walking. I texted Clem, 9 a.m., Marina, rent the blue fishing boat. Stay 200 yards back. Telephoto lens. This is it. His response came immediately. Copy. Stay safe out there. I almost laughed. Safe. I was about to let someone try murdering me again. The most dangerous stunt of my career, and no safety coordinator except a 72-year-old retired cop. I closed my eyes. Through the wall, Uriah's snoring started. Agatha whispered something. Prayer, maybe. Tomorrow one of them would try killing me. Tomorrow, I'd let them. Beautiful morning, barely any wind, perfect for the lake. Uriah stood at the kitchen counter, coffee in hand, watching me eat toast. 9:45 a.m., right on schedule. Supposed to pick up this afternoon, I said. Then we should go now, before it gets choppy. Agatha, you coming? She stood by the sink, pale. I don't feel well. Fresh air will help. Come on. Let her rest if she wants. She loves boating, right, honey? Agatha hesitated, looked between us. I'll come. She was afraid to leave us alone. At the dock, I transferred from wheelchair to the boat seat. Made it deliberately awkward, struggling, grabbing wrong handholds, nearly slipping. Uriah watched, calculated, smiled. Need help? I got it. 200 yards northwest, a blue fishing boat trolled slowly. Man in a baseball cap, fishing rod out. Just another tourist trying his luck. Clem's telephoto lens sat on the bench seat, aimed our direction. Camera recording. Uriah started the engine. We pulled away from the dock. Haven't been out on the water in months, I said over the engine noise. Forgot how much I missed this. Your boat handles great, responsive steering. Built for speed, used it for a jet ski chase scene in 2008. For a movie? Independent action film. Terrible script, great stunts. You coordinated stunts on boats? Boats, cars, motorcycles, fell off all of them professionally. He went quiet, maybe realizing I was harder to kill than expected. 15 minutes out, smooth water, calm conditions, 30 miles per hour. I sat in the passenger seat, hands loose in my lap, watching the shoreline, acting oblivious. The wheel cranked right, hard, violent. The boat heeled over. Physics said I should slide left into the gunnel. Instead, my right hand shot out, grabbed the rail. Muscle memory, reacted before conscious thought. Uriah saw my hand gripping. His face changed. He left the wheel. The boat kept turning, circling. He crossed the deck in 2 steps, hands on my shoulders, shoved hard. My grip broke. I went airborne, cold water, second time in 3 days. My wardrobe couldn't take much more family bonding. I'd brought 4 shirts for the week, down to my last 2. I surfaced. The boat was circling back, stern rope trailing in the water. I swam 3 strokes, grabbed it, held on. Agatha was screaming. What are you doing? She grabbed Uriah's arm. He shook her off. He fell. I'm going back. The boat slowed, came around. Uriah leaned over the stern where I clung to the rope. His foot came up. Tried stomping on my fingers. Missed. Tried again. Agatha pulled him back physically. Stop it! Engine noise approached. The fishing boat, Clem at the wheel. Hey, need help over there? He pulled alongside, extended a gaff pole. Grab on! I got you! I grabbed it. Let him haul me aboard his boat. Everyone okay? Saw you take that turn pretty hard. Uriah's face went through several expressions, settled on concerned innocence. Thank God you were here. Wind caught the wheel. He went over. I was circling back. I saw you push him. I reached for him, tried to grab. I saw it, clear as day. Clem looked at him steadily. 20/20 vision, had LASIK in '09. You were 200 yards away. Couldn't see. I see fine. I sat in Clem's boat, water streaming off my clothes, catching my breath. Just take me back to my dock. Gideon, tell him it was an accident. Take me back. The ride was silent, tense. Agatha wouldn't look at anyone. Uriah gripped his wheel too tight, knuckles white. At the dock, I climbed out. Agatha tried following. Dad, I didn't know he was going to. Get away from me. Please, I tried to stop. You came on the boat. You were part of it. I came because I didn't trust him alone with you. Then why didn't you stop him? She had no answer. Thanks for the rescue, I told Clem. Anytime. Lucky I was out there. We exchanged a look. Not luck. I went inside without another word. Clem radioed the marina later, told them he'd caught nothing, which was true, unless you counted attempted murders. He'd caught one of those, decent size too, probably a keeper. I spent the afternoon reviewing Clem's footage, crystal clear, the violent turn, me gripping the rail, Uriah leaving the wheel, the shove, him trying to stomp my hands, Agatha pulling him back, 38 minutes of video, saved to 4 locations. At 7 p.m., I called Agatha into the living room. Uriah wasn't present. I'd sent him out for groceries, needed an hour alone with her. Sit down, we need to talk. Dad, about today. I'm changing my will, Friday, everything to Lana. Her face went white. You can't. I absolutely can. It's my money. We'll leave, tonight, Uriah and I. Just don't cut me out completely. You had 3 days to leave. You stayed. You got on that boat knowing what he planned. I didn't know. You knew, maybe not details, but you knew enough. Please, I'll divorce him. I'll do whatever. 3 days. Notary comes Friday at 2 p.m. If you're here, you sign paperwork witnessing my new will leaving you nothing. Her hands shook. Coffee cup rattled against the saucer. She set it down before it spilled. After she left, I watched through the window. She sat on the deck stairs, wouldn't come inside. Crying, not hysterical, defeated. She pulled out her phone, stared at it, put it away, pulled it out again, dialed. Hi, it's me. Is this too late to call? Pause. I'm okay. I'm not okay. Mom, I think I married the wrong person. Longer pause. No, I can't explain. Can I just hear your voice? Tell me about your day. Anything normal? She listened for 5 minutes, said almost nothing. Thanks, Mom. I love you. I have to go. She sat there another 10 minutes. When she finally came inside, her face was set. Some decision made. Right or wrong, I couldn't tell. But she wasn't passive anymore. My phone buzzed. Clem. Got everything on camera. Push was clear. Attempted drowning. Want me to take it to sheriff? I typed back. Not yet. One more night. You're playing this dangerous. After tonight, we'll have 3 attempts. Premeditation ×3. No defense. What if he succeeds tonight? He won't. I'm not sleeping. And I have a surprise ready. What surprise? You'll see if he tries. 11 p.m. I lay in bed, lights off, door cracked. Their voices carried from the kitchen, arguing quietly, trying not to wake me. Friday's too late. We do it tonight. No, no more. I can't. Agatha? You don't have to do anything. Just sleep. I'll handle it. Handle what? Murder? You'll murder my father? He's already dead to you. He just said so. 0 inheritance. Because you keep trying to kill him. Because we're out of options. Wednesday they'll kill us. Tonight he dies, or Thursday we die. Pick. Sobbing. This wasn't supposed to happen. But it did, and now we see it through. I won't be part of this. Then go to bed. Pretend you're asleep. That's all you have to do. Pretend. Footsteps, their bedroom door closing. I texted Clem. He tried, bedroom door, have it on video, tomorrow we call sheriff. His response, about damn time, get some sleep. Sleep. Right. I kept sitting in the dark, chair braced against my door. 12-gauge shotgun across my lap, not loaded, but intimidating. 1:47 a.m. by my phone screen. Floorboard creaked in the hallway. Footsteps trying to be quiet, failing. Shadow blocked the light under my door. Doorknob turned slowly. Locked. Pause. More pressure. Testing if the door would give. Then, quiet knock. Gideon, you awake? Uriah's voice. Whisper volume. I heard something outside. Wanted to make sure you're okay. I said nothing. Didn't move. Barely breathed. The doorknob rattled harder. "Gideon, can you hear me?" Another shadow joined the first, Agatha's whisper. "Is he answering?" "No." "Then don't. Come back to bed." "It has to be tonight. Not like this. Not while he's waiting." They argued in whispers, couldn't hear words, just tones. Finally, footsteps retreated. Bedroom door closed down the hall. I exhaled. My phone showed a motion alert. Exterior cameras I'd added Tuesday. The video showed Uriah in the hallway, carrying a pillow, standing at my door. Timestamp. 1:48 a.m. Third attempt documented. Outside, wind picked up like the weather service promised. Storm coming tomorrow, fitting. 2:45 a.m. I had moved from the chair to the bed. Left the door unlocked this time. Phone on the nightstand, recording in night vision mode, aimed at the door, every muscle tense, listening. Creak, creak, creak. The bedroom door opened, cool air from the hallway. Footsteps on carpet, soft, careful. Through barely open eyelids, I saw Uriah's silhouette. Pillow raised in both hands, 3 feet away, 2 feet. "Police! Hands up!" The closet door slammed open. The bathroom door burst. Officers flooded the room, 4 of them, tactical gear, body cams running. My eyes snapped open, genuine shock. Uriah spun toward the closet. The pillow dropped. Something clattered on hardwood. A folding knife from his waistband, 4-inch blade. An officer hit him from the side. Football tackle. They crashed into the dresser. My lamp shattered. The quarters from my coin collection scattered. 40 years of souvenir coins from film sets. "You're hurting me! Stop resisting!" He went down hard. Knee in his back, arms wrenched behind him. Cuffs clicked. I sat up in bed, hands raised automatically, heart hammering against ribs. The closet stood open, officer emerging with body cam. The bathroom door too. Another officer, also recording. In the doorway, 2 more officers. Behind them, Clem. "What?" I couldn't finish the sentence. Detective Ramirez entered, 50s, Latina, professional demeanor. She held up a tablet. "Mr. Larson, I'm Detective Ramirez, Washoe County. Are you injured?" "No, I don't." "What are you doing in my house?" Agatha's scream came from the hallway. "Dad! Uriah!" An officer blocked her. She fought past anyway, dropped beside her husband on the floor. His nose was bleeding where it hit the dresser. Mount Rushmore got him, the South Dakota quarter. "What did you do? What did they catch you doing?" Uriah couldn't answer. Officer was reading him his rights. "How long have you been in my closet?" I asked Ramirez. "Since 1 a.m. Your neighbor let us in through the back." I looked at Clem. He stood in the doorway, arms crossed, satisfied. "Without telling me." "Protocol," Ramirez said. "Can't risk compromising the operation." "Operation? I'm the one he's trying to kill." Which is why we took it seriously. Mr. Wade provided substantial evidence. We've been tracking Mr. Campbell for months. For what? He's a financial consultant. She swiped her tablet. Financial records appeared. Client accounts, money trails. Lost his license 2 years ago. Continued operating illegally. Embezzled from elderly clients. $2 million across 14 accounts. The number hit like cold water. Jesus! Your case gave us probable cause for arrest. Otherwise, financial fraud takes years to prosecute. She swiped again. Video thumbnails appeared. My GoPro footage, Clem's boat recording, tonight's body cam. 3 murder attempts, plus $2 million in fraud. He's done. 4 officers fit in my bedroom closet. My bedroom closet. I couldn't fit my winter coats in there. Apparently, Lake Tahoe PD recruited officers more compact than my wardrobe. They took Uriah out in handcuffs. Agatha followed, crying. I heard her on the phone in the driveway, calling the lawyer probably. Clem approached the bed. I stood to face him. "You used me. I saved you. There's a difference. By hiding police in my bedroom without telling me, would you have agreed? I deserved the choice. And if you'd acted nervous, suspicious, he might have backed off. Third attempt would have happened differently. Maybe when I wasn't available to help. You don't get to make that call." His jaw set. "Someone had to. You were playing games, collecting evidence. He had a knife tonight, Gideon. A knife. What if he'd succeeded?" I had no answer, because he was right. Detective Ramirez showed me her tablet like she was presenting a highlight reel. Here's attempt 1, attempt 2, attempt 3. I'd coordinated stunt sequences for action movies. This was the world's most dangerous director's cut. No distribution deal, though. By dawn, the police were gone. Ambulance had taken Uriah for his nose. Protocol. I stood on the porch watching the sky lighten. Agatha sat on the steps below, wrapped in a blanket, shaking. I approached. She looked up, eyes red, face twisted with something between grief and rage. "You did this?" Not a question, an accusation. She stood, dropped the blanket. "You planned everything, the boat rides, the cameras, getting police involved. You wanted to destroy him. He tried killing me 3 times. Because you set him up. You made yourself bait." Her voice broke. "I'm your daughter. Doesn't that matter? You sacrificed me to catch him. You had chances to stop this. You chose him. When did you know?" "Know what?" "That the police would be there, that they'd arrest him tonight." "I didn't know they were in my room. Clem arranged it." "But you knew they were investigating." "I found out tonight, same time you did." "Liar!" She stepped closer. "You've been planning this for days. The cameras, the boat rides, making yourself vulnerable. He tried killing me. I was documenting it. For what? For this? To ruin my marriage? To take away the only person who ever chose me? He chose your money, not you." She slapped me, hard across the face. My cheek stung. I didn't move. "You want to know why I stayed with him? Why I didn't stop him?" I touched my cheek. "Tell me." "Because for 3 years, he made me feel special. Not like Lana's little sister. Not like the disappointment. Special. You were never a disappointment." "Yes, I was. Lana's a surgeon, successful, independent. And I'm... what? A failed model who married for money? You think I don't know that's what you thought? I never... You did. Every time you looked at him, I saw it. What's she doing with this guy?" "So, when he was in trouble, when he needed money, I helped, because he needed me, not perfect Lana. Me. He tried to kill me. And you could have called police after the first time, but you didn't. You set him up for more, used me as audience to his downfall. That's cruelty, Dad. You were cruel." She walked to her car, packed bag already in the trunk. She'd loaded it during the police chaos. "I'm leaving, going to Reno, for the hearing." "Agatha, don't. Just don't." She paused at the car door, didn't turn around. "He tried killing you. I know that. But you used me. We're both victims of the men we trusted." She drove away. My phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. "Mr. Larson, this is Marcus Ellington, Mr. Campbell's attorney. Bail hearing set for Monday 9 a.m., Washoe County Courthouse. FYI, bail will be posted. My client has family resources. He'll be released pending trial. Thought you'd want to know." I stared at the message. Bail. Release. Uriah back out within 48 hours. Clem's truck pulled into the driveway. He got out, walked over. "Did you see the text about bail?" "Yeah. Someone's putting up $500,000. That's not normal for fraud cases. Who has that kind of cash for him? His family, wealthy uncle or something. Or," Clem said slowly, "someone with a $2 million incentive. He embezzled $2 million. We recovered $400,000. Where's the rest?" My stomach dropped. The sun cleared the mountains. Light hit the lake, turning it from black to blue. Uriah would be free by Monday. Angry, desperate, with resources we didn't know about. And my daughter just chose him over me. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. I sat at the kitchen table with cold coffee, staring at my phone. Text from Agatha. "In Reno, don't contact me." I'd been sitting there 20 minutes, hadn't moved. A car pulled up outside. Rental? Lana emerged fast, strode to the cabin. I watched through the window, didn't go greet her. She entered, dropped her bag, crossed the room. "Dad," hugged me hard. I didn't hug back immediately. Then something broke and I collapsed into it. My shoulders shook once. I pulled back. "I'm okay." She studied my face. "No, you're not." We sat at the table. I told her everything. The attempts, the arrest, Agatha's accusation, the bail notice. "She's insane to blame you," Lana said. "Her husband tried killing you 3 times. And I used her to catch him. She's right about that." "You didn't use her. You protected yourself. By keeping them here, setting up scenarios, documenting attempts. I could have called police after the lake. I chose revenge instead. You chose justice. Is there a difference? At 2 p.m., my iPad rang. FaceTime. Agatha. I stared at the notification for 10 seconds. Lana reached for it. Answer it or I will. I answered. Agatha's face filled the screen. Red eyes, no makeup, hotel room behind her. We looked at each other through glass and pixels. Neither spoke. I'm only calling because my therapist said I need to say this. You're seeing someone? That's good. Hotel concierge recommended. Emergency session. She took a breath. You never loved me like you loved Lana. That's not... Let me finish. You never loved me the same. Lana was smart, accomplished, made you proud. I was decorative, pretty, your modeling daughter. But you never looked at me like you looked at her. Silence. I tried to think if she was wrong. I couldn't. Say something. I'm trying to think if you're wrong. I can't. Her face crumpled slightly, then hardened. When I married Uriah, you smiled, but your eyes said, she's making a mistake. I saw it, Dad. I thought he was charming, successful. You thought he was using me, and you were right, but at least he chose me. At least someone wanted me for me. I wanted you. I want you. You're my daughter. No, I'm Lana's sister. There's a difference. Lana leaned into frame. That's not fair. Agatha's expression changed. Is that Lana? Of course you called Lana. Did she fly out to support you? She's worried about me. I'm worried about you too. I'm worried you used me as bait for a trap. I'm worried my father cared more about revenge than my safety. You're right, she blinked. What? You're right. I saw him changing. Last September, maybe October. Came over for dinner, got 3 phone calls he took outside. You said, work stuff. I didn't push. I kept going, each memory a failure acknowledged. November, asked to borrow $20,000. I gave it. Never asked why. December, you canceled Christmas plans last minute. Uriah's family emergency. I didn't question. Why didn't you say anything? I wanted you to see it yourself, to choose to leave on your terms. That's paternalistic bullshit. You had information that could have saved me. I thought if I pointed it out, you'd defend him, dig in deeper, push me away. I was trying to preserve our relationship. By letting me stay with a criminal, a would-be murderer. I didn't know he was dangerous. I thought financial problems, maybe an affair, not this. But you suspected something. And you stayed silent because you wanted me to figure it out alone, like a test. I had no answer. She was right. I need to know something, I said. And I need the truth. What? Did you know about his plans to kill me? The silence lasted 30 seconds. On screen, her face froze. Agatha? Tears started. Not details, not, I'm going to push you in the lake. But he talked about life insurance, about how much easier things would be when you were gone, about your age, your surgery, how fragile you were. And you didn't warn me. I told myself he was just venting, just stressed. Then the first attempt happened and I knew. I knew it wasn't venting, and she sobbed. I still chose him over you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why? Because if you were gone, I'd inherit. We'd be safe from his creditors. Life would be simple again. I thought those things, Dad. What kind of person thinks those things? A scared one. She covered her face with her hands. The screen showed only her crying into her palms. Behind me, Lana stood. She knew, and she let it happen. She was terrified, manipulated. She's an adult. She made choices. So did I. I saw her struggling and I stayed distant, professional, didn't push into her life, didn't insist on knowing what was wrong. That's not your fault. She's responsible for herself. And I'm responsible for being her father. I failed at that. The call ended badly. No resolution, just raw wounds exposed. After Agatha's face disappeared from the screen, I sat staring at the blank iPad for 15 minutes. Lana tried talking. I didn't respond. I need to be alone. I went to my bedroom. Lana heard sounds through the door, gave me space. An hour later, I emerged, eyes red but composed. I'm selling the cabin. Can't stay here anymore. Too many ghosts. At 7 p.m., my phone rang. Marcus Ellington. I answered on speaker. Lana and Clem were present. He'd come over for dinner. Just a courtesy heads up. Bail posted. $500,000 certified check, corporate account. Releases Monday morning. Who posted it? Can't disclose. but he'll be out pending trial. After he hung up, we sat in silence. Clem opened his laptop, typed, clicked. 10 minutes later, Shell Corporation, registered in Delaware, parent company registered in Cayman Islands. This isn't family money, this is laundered money. What does that mean? Lana asked. Means someone with resources wants him out, someone we don't know about. Or he has hidden money from the embezzlement, I said. $2 million he stole, $400,000 we found. Where's the other $1.6 million? We had heavy emotional conversation through iPad FaceTime. Important family reckoning via Apple product. Steve Jobs probably didn't envision this use case. Reconnect with the daughter whose husband you helped arrest, now with Retina display. Clem traced the money through Delaware to Cayman Islands. Sagebrush Holdings owned by Sierra Cascade Investments. 2 fake Nevada-sounding names, like naming your goldfish trout and salmon. But the joke died in my throat. Uriah had resources, connections, money we couldn't track. He'd be free Monday, angry, with nothing to lose. Can't the court add conditions? Lana asked. No contact order? Already in place, Clem said. But paper doesn't stop bullets. I sat in my car Sunday evening, 20 minutes, phone in hand, didn't call anyone, just sat, thinking about an 8-year-old showing me a drawing, a stick figure, and a lopsided house. Do you like it? It's beautiful, sweetheart. It wasn't beautiful, but I'd said it was, because that's what dads do, and somehow, over 30 years, those small lies became distance. That distance became vulnerability. That vulnerability led a desperate man straight to my daughter. And now she was in Reno with his lawyer, preparing to fight for him. Clem knocked on my window. You coming in? Yeah. But I sat there another 5 minutes, watching the lake where twice I'd almost died. Thinking about the daughter I'd lost years before, I knew she was gone. Tuesday morning, I sat at my kitchen table researching shell corporations. Clem had confirmed it. Maxwell Campbell, Uriah's uncle, real estate developer in Las Vegas, posted the $500,000 bail. Family loyalty. Misplaced, but real. Wednesday afternoon, I was loading groceries when 2 men approached my truck. Late 30s, casual clothes, dead eyes. One blocked my driver's door. The other stood by the passenger side. Mr. Larson, quick word? Do I know you? We know you. Represent some friends of Mr. Campbell. I kept loading bags. I don't have anything to say to... Just listen. He owes money. Trial's expensive. Publicity's expensive. If charges went away, he'd have resources to settle debts. I'm not dropping charges. The first man smiled. No warmth in it. You're what, 70? Had surgery recently? Stressful time. Is that a threat? Observation. Old people have health problems. Accidents. Falls. You live alone? We're done here. Think about it. Your health. His debts. Everybody wins. They walked away. My hands shook loading the last bag. A milk carton slipped, hit the pavement. I left it there. Just got in the truck, locked the doors, and sat breathing. Called Detective Ramirez. She took the report. Unfortunately, that's not a direct threat. We can't do much without proof they were connected to Campbell. That night, Clem and Lana came over. Can police protect you? Lana asked. Not really, Clem said. Can't prove connection between those guys and Uriah. And even if they could, I can't have police protection until trial. That's months. So what do we do? I'd been thinking about it all evening. Make it public, all of it, the videos. Clem leaned back. That's nuclear, no taking it back. Good. Loan sharks hate attention. Media coverage means law enforcement scrutiny. They'll disappear. But Agatha chose her side. I'm choosing survival. Thursday morning, I created a YouTube account, Surviving Family, 8th 2025. Uploaded 3 videos with minimal descriptions, just facts, timestamps, context. Then I sent links, Reno Gazette-Journal, Colo TV, Sacramento Bee, various crime reporting accounts. My cursor had hovered over that upload button for a full minute. Once public, I couldn't take it back. This would show Uriah's face, Agatha's voice, our family's destruction to the world. I clicked. Progress bar. Uploading. Okay, now we see. By Friday morning, 50,000 views. My phone started ringing. Reporters, producers. I stopped answering. Saturday, 400,000 views. Sunday, 1.2 million. I got recognized at Walmart. Woman asked for a selfie with that survival guy from the videos. I'm 68 years old. I'd survived stunt work, 3 murder attempts, and testifying in court. Couldn't survive Walmart fame. Bought groceries online after that. Local news ran the story. National outlets picked it up. Uriah's face everywhere. Man caught on camera attempting murder 3 times. Comments flooded in. Support, outrage, the entire true crime community dissecting every frame. Friday night, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. You win. Too much heat. We're out. Tell Campbell his debt's forgiven. Don't want anything connecting us to this circus. I forwarded it to Ramirez immediately. 1 threat neutralized. Monday morning, email from Agatha's lawyer. Divorce petition attached. I opened it on my iPad. Standard language, asset division, dissolution. She couldn't even sign it herself. I forwarded it to my lawyer with a note. Don't contest. Give her whatever she wants. 3 months passed in blur of legal motions, media requests, therapy sessions. September. Washoe County Courthouse. The prosecutor met me before the hearing. Campbell's offering a plea, attempted murder, fraud, everything. 8 years minimum security. He'd get 25 at trial. Maybe. Or a jury sympathizes. Family dispute, no permanent harm, elderly victims set traps. 8 years is guaranteed. I considered. And the fraud victims. Restitution ordered, court-supervised repayment from any future earnings. He won't have earnings. He'll be unemployable. Exactly. So, is this acceptable? I looked at her. What does my daughter think? She's not involved, filed divorce, wants distance. Then yes, acceptable. Media packed the courthouse steps, cameras, reporters. I walked past without comment. Inside, I saw Uriah across the lobby. Our eyes met. He looked away first. 20 pounds thinner, hollow-eyed, defeated. Agatha wasn't there, hadn't come. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Judge reviewing papers. Uriah in a suit that hung loose on his frame. Mr. Campbell, you understand by accepting this plea, you waive your right to trial. Yes, Your Honor. You admit to 3 counts attempted murder, 14 counts fraud, embezzlement totaling $2 million. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Larson, as victim, do you accept this resolution? I stood. The room went silent. Long pause. I accept the plea. Do you wish to make a statement? I looked at Uriah. He wouldn't meet my eyes, just stared at his hands, cuffed in front of him. No statement, justice is acceptable. Very well. Mr. Campbell, anything to say to your victim? Uriah stood shaking. I'm sorry. I was desperate. I made terrible choices. I hurt people His voice broke. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. Just sat down. The judge sentenced him. 8 years Nevada Department of Corrections. Bailiff approached to take him into custody. Uriah turned to look at the gallery. The seat where Agatha would have sat, empty. His uncle was there, face hard with disappointment. As they led him past my row, he stopped. I really am sorry. I said nothing. He continued walking, orange jumpsuit disappearing through the security door. Not a villain anymore. Just a broken man who broke everything. Outside, reporters swarmed. Mr. Larson, how do you feel about the sentence? It's appropriate. Did you want him to get more time? I wanted to not get murdered. Mission accomplished. I walked to my car. Lana and Clem followed. My phone buzzed. Email notification. Sender, Aggie Larson. Subject line blank. I opened it. I know you think I chose him over you. Maybe I did. Or maybe I chose myself over both of you. I'm sorry for everything, but I can't talk yet. Maybe someday, maybe never. Goodbye for now. I typed a reply. Take all the time you need. I'm not going anywhere. Hit send, delivered, read. No response came. Lana pulled up beside me. Ready to go home? I pocketed my phone. Yeah, let's go home. But which home? The cabin was being sold. Boston was Lana's city. Where was mine now? 6 months later, I stood in my Connecticut apartment making coffee. 2 bedrooms in Stamford. 30 minutes from Lana in Greenwich. The cabin sold in December. I never went back. Couldn't bear to. 2nd bedroom held my camera collection. 60 cameras from 40 years of stunt work. Each one represented a film, a memory, a life I used to live. On the refrigerator, one photo. Agatha at 8, showing me a crayon drawing, the only personal touch in the entire apartment. April brought an email. I'm ready to talk, if you are. Saturday 2 p.m., Bluebird Coffee, Hartford. No pressure. Understand if you can't. I showed Lana. Are you ready? No, but I'll go anyway. Saturday I tried on 3 shirts before settling on blue. Combed my hair, more gray than a year ago. Practiced in the mirror. Hi, Agatha. Too formal. Hey, kiddo. Too familiar. Settled on just, hi. I arrived 15 minutes early, parked across the street, watched the door, saw her arrive. Different hair, shorter, darker, different style, reinventing herself. I took 5 minutes before following. Inside, she was already seated, corner table. She'd arrived first, controlling the space. We didn't hug, just sat. Together or separate, the barista asked when we ordered. Symbolic question. Separate, I said. We paid individually. First 10 minutes, weather, her new job, retail manager at a boutique, my apartment, Lana's visits, surface things. Then Agatha pulled out a notebook. My therapist suggested writing down what I need to say, so I don't forget or chicken out. She read, apologies, acknowledgments, understanding of her complicity, not asking for forgiveness, just recognition of what happened. When she finished, she closed the notebook. Your turn. I didn't have notes, spoke slowly. You chose to stay silent when he planned to kill me, 3 times. I can't forget that. She nodded. I don't expect you to, but you're my daughter, and you're trying. That matters. We negotiated boundaries like diplomats, monthly phone calls, first Sunday, 2 p.m. Maybe Thanksgiving together with Lana as buffer, not reconciliation, détente. Do you hate me? She asked before leaving. Long pause. No, I don't hate you. Do you love me? Longer pause. You're my daughter. That doesn't change, but love's complicated now. I understand. When you're the person you used to be, the good kid who drew pictures and cared about things, call me. We'll talk more. What if I'm never that person again? Then we'll figure out who you are now, but you have to figure it out first. She left without looking back. May, I drove through Nevada selling storage items, detoured past Lake Tahoe, new owners, young family, kids' toys in the yard, fresh paint. I slowed, didn't stop, saw the dock where Uriah pushed me, the boat, the bedroom window where police waited, felt nothing, just emptiness. Drove on, didn't look back. June arrived, exactly 1 year after the first attempt. I visited Clem in assisted living. Heart condition had moved him from Nevada. We drove to a lake in Connecticut. Different lake, peaceful. Sat on a bench with beer. His doctor had forbidden it. So, he said, how you doing? Really? Honestly, I don't know. I'm safe. He's in prison. Justice happened. But I lost my daughter, my home, my privacy. Regret it? Which part? Surviving? No. Collecting evidence instead of calling cops immediately? Maybe. Going viral? I paused. Necessary but ugly. Losing Agatha? That's the cost. I paid it. I pulled out my camera, vintage Leica I'd been restoring, took a photo of the lake. In movies, there's always second takes. Life's one shot. I made mine, living with it. We sat in silence, sun setting over Connecticut water. Gold and pink reflected on the surface. Clem dozed off mid-sentence. I didn't wake him. Pulled out my phone, scrolled through messages. Lana's from earlier. Love you, Dad. Agatha's last text. Talk next month. Opened my camera app. Took a digital photo of sleeping Clem by the lake. First photograph of a person in months. Saved it. Maybe healing starts with small steps. Clem woke with a snort. Sorry, dozed off. You snored. Did not. Did too. We packed up, headed back to the facility. Same time next month? He asked at the car door. If we're both still here. Always the optimist. Always the realist. He squeezed my shoulder. You did good, you know. Survived. That's something. Yeah, that's something. After dropping him off, I sat in the car alone. Looked at the photo of the lake sunset. Good shot. Technical, beautiful, empty, like my life. But alive. That counted. Started the engine. Radio played something I'd forgotten existed. I didn't change the station, just drove toward home, Connecticut apartment, not the cabin, not the past. Forward. I whispered to the empty car, to myself, to whatever was listening. Next time, I'll hire better actors. Smiled, first genuine smile in a year, not joy, acceptance, raised the camera, photographed the sunset through the windshield. Click, one shot, no do-overs. The evening light caught the lens. Golden hour, perfect exposure. In the second bedroom of my apartment, 60 cameras lined the shelves, 40 years of collecting, each one a film, a stunt, a memory. I'd stopped adding to the collection until today. Tomorrow I'd buy a Polaroid SX70, take a photo of Lana, then, someday, maybe Agatha, rebuilding my collection of humans, one camera click at a time. Life isn't movies, no second takes, no perfect endings. You make choices, live with consequences. I chose evidence over immediate safety. That choice brought justice and family destruction. Was it worth it? I'm alive to ask the question. That'll have to be enough. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions of this story in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.